Oi, I'm Peter. In this exercise we are going to learn how we can find a settled place inside our own body, even if we are experiencing strong emotions or other sensations. Knowing that we contain both places of peace and disorder at the same time may help us reduce our reaction to stress or perception of pain. In Chapter 2 of In the Leela, I showed Dot how to do this at the beach on a quiet cove. If you'd like, I can show you too.
Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably and be undisturbed for a few minutes. Later with practice you'll be able to do this settling even in the middle of a loud crowd with lots of distractions and noise. Let's start with 3 slow breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. In, out. Nice. Take a moment to see what is going on inside of your body. Do your feet feel solid where they are resting? What do your legs feel like? Do you notice any discomfort in your hips? Just be aware of the sensations as you do this mental inventory. Try and withhold any judgment about how your body should feel. Let's continue. How is your stomach feeling? Is it relatively still, or do you feel a lot of activity going on inside you? How does your spine feel? Is there any tension in your lower back? Do you notice any tightness in your shoulders? Do your arms feel relaxed? What do your hands feel like? What does your neck feel like right now? Are you carrying any tension in your jawline? Do you notice any place of constriction or tightness in your head? As you scanned your body, you probably noticed that some places may have felt tight or even in pain, while other areas may have seemed relatively settled or at least in less pain in relation to others. For this exercise, we're going to start by locating a place of high activation in our body. Maybe you noticed that you had a sinus headache, or some discomfort in your hips, or a feeling of butterflies in your tummy. You may have had multiple places of agitation or pain, but for this session, we want you to pick just one. Press the pause on this video if you need more time picking the area in your body that is most activated or in pain in this moment. Okay, now let's pick a score between 0 and 9, with 9 as highest. That indicates how much activation or pain you're experiencing in this area. Keep this number in mind for later. Direct your attention now to a place in your body that is relatively more settled than the place you selected as your most activated. It may not be possible to find a place that is peaceful and calm, especially if you are highly agitated right now. However, you can always find a place that is relatively less activated. It doesn't have to be a large area, perhaps the bottom of your foot feels settled, or the palm of your hand. Press pause if you need a little bit more time to select a settled place. Sometimes the area in our body that are in distress can call our attention away from anything else. We may not even notice the sound of birds outside or the beauty of a sunset if we are feeling activated in some way. Let the area that you selected as highly activated or in pain know that you will come back to it in a little while, but that for now we are going to focus on the area in your body that is settled. Direct your attention to your settled place in your body and ask yourself, how do I know this part of my body is settled? See if you can imagine the shape of this settled area. If it had a colour, what colour might it be? If you had a texture, would it be smooth or bumpy? Does it have a temperature that you can detect? Just imagine for a moment. Is there a color, a shape, a size, a texture, a temperature? Don't try and change anything that you're feeling. Simply notice what this settled place feels like right now. Good job. Let's check back in with the original place you selected as unsettled. See if you can imagine the size of the activation in this area. Does it have a color or texture? How is the temperature? Remember, you aren't trying to change anything. Just notice how you are feeling. It may be that this original place you selected has changed in some way from when we first started. See if you can notice any of the subtle differences. Are you beginning to see that you contain both places of discomfort and relative peace at the same time? With some practice, you'll be able to shift your attention easily between what feels like polar opposites in your body. Let's continue to practice by bringing your attention now back to the place in your body that you said was relatively settled. Once again, let's take 3 slow breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. With each breath, imagine that you're going deeper into your settled place. Deep. Even deeper. Nice. Has this settled area changed at all since we began? Perhaps it extends longer and deeper than before. Maybe you feel a gentle effervescing sensation, or you may notice a feeling of strength and solidity here. Once again, take a slow breath in through your nose, and as you let it out, imagine you're going deep into this settled place. Nicely done. You can stay in this settled place for as long as you like, and even in the most turbulent experience, you can find at least one spot in your body that is relatively less activated. Let's check in one last time with the original area of activation that you selected. Do you remember the score that you rated this area at the beginning of the exercise? What would you rate the score now? It may be that your level of activation went down. This is often the case when we watch and notice what is happening inside our body and when we direct our attention on settling. Or every so often it happens that our level of activation does not seem to change much at all, or sometimes the level of activation even increases as we are watching. But even if your pain seemed to be higher, what you learned was that you can still find at least one area that was relatively less activated. You can tan both places at the same time, and you can choose to direct your attention to the settled spots at any time.